supposed to say again?
What kind of podcast is this?
Oh! This is Bad Playstyle. We're a video game book club podcast wherein we talk about the video game we played this week.
NSFW?
Yeah, we swear a lot. And we're gonna fucking spoil the shit out of this game.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what about secrets?
Yeah, we're gonna ruin all the secrets.
Such as?
Such as Bastil is really your mom.
I said dad.
Doesn't matter. My name is Keenan.
I'm Matt.
Hi guys. How's it going?
I'm good. Welcome to Bad Playstyle, friends.
Yeah, it's Bad Playstyle. This is a show.
A book called Podcast for Friends.
For friends.
You listen, you can be our friend.
Okay.
Yeah, you're our friend now.
Yeah, you're our friend for
Unless
listening.
you're Brian.
Yeah, Brian, enemy of the show, Brian.
Enemy of the show, Brian.
Enemy of the show, Brian.
You used to be resistant to that premise, but you're just on now.
Yeah, yesterday he was all about it. Anyway,
If he's good with it, we're all good with it.
I mean, it was sort of like a tentative thing, and now it's like, what did we play?
Oh yeah, we played Tacoma.
What is Tacoma?
What is Tacoma?
Besides the town that smells bad.
I've never played that game.
Town with a paper mill.
I'm just kidding. I played the
Tacoma
shit
is the game where you come home from college and find out your sister's a lesbian.
Okay.
No,
on a space
That's
station.
actually Gone Home, Owen.
oh shit, you're right.
Whoops.
Gone Home is a walking simulator in space.
All right.
Damn it.
I mean,
Whoops.
Tacoma. Tacoma, Gone Home. Gone Home, Tacoma.
Oops.
what's the hoops about that?
Tacoma is a game where you play as a young lady who falls in love with a gentleman online. You go through her emails.
And you definitely aren't playing Final Fantasy 14 or whatever.
You definitely are playing Final Fantasy 14. No, Tacoma, you're on a space station.
Actually, it would have to be Final Fantasy 11.
I hope you can hear that. I'm gonna boost the audio on that.
It does sting a little, just so everyone knows.
Okay, why you put the fingernails?
No, it's cool. I'm not mad.
All right. So, does anyone have anything stupid with video game related stuff that they did right now? Keenan doesn't have a source of income, so probably not.
I mean, like, I've played a few games, but I also started that coding bootcamp thing that I'm doing for a job later.
Yeah.
But no,
So, like,
no questionable purchases.
I don't have a lot of
I don't
time.
wanna
I
talk
certainly haven't bought anything.
I don't want to talk about the cool things that are going on in your life.
I see.
This is the segment of the show where we talk about the horrible purchases.
No, I have not made...
I bought a very full price game that is very questionable.
What did you do,
I
Owen?
bought the Nintendo Labo.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
But like,
that's like a full price game.
it was more than a full price game
Okay.
because it's a Switch game, so it was like $70.
Oh, okay.
It also came with a lot of cardboard, right?
Well, yeah, but like you can get the cardboard.
I know that's
part
like
for
$5.
free.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, so
So can you just go to like Kinko's and just...
yeah, you can print out templates and
Okay.
just cut it out onto paper.
Neat.
I think you can also just straight up buy replacement cardboard from Nintendo too.
Okay, good.
That means I could make a Nintendo keyboard with flames on it. Because
Well-
I have markers.
Well, you can already do that with this one.
Right, but like...
They encourage you to do
I don't
to like decorate
feel
it.
like you need to make an extra one to just write on
Okay,
it with markers.
Yeah,
That's
like
fair.
I am planning on decorating mine. I'm gonna make a fucking sweet piano.
So is it like a stickers thing, a paint thing, or what are we talking
Like
about?
decorating my
Yeah,
piano.
yeah,
I'm probably gonna spray paint it first.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Get
base
some
coat the whole
primer on
thing,
that
Oh,
shit,
okay.
yeah.
and then I'm gonna paint the rest of it by hand.
Okay,
That
so
cardboard
just like
soaked
hand
that shit
You have a
up.
lot of experience painting things. People who don't know, Owen is
Owen is our resident painter.
I paint
I'm not going to
miniatures.
use any adjectives, but he's good at painting.
Owen has been painting things the entire time I have known him,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
is
that's
more
true.
than half of my life.
Yeah, I've been painting miniatures since I was 8.
Yep.
So,
How old were we when we met?
probably like 14.
So yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
There we go.
I met Keenan, I think, when I was like 12.
Yeah, 12 sounds about right.
Yeah.
Okay. We definitely at this point, even though it says it in the intro of the podcast,
Oh, yeah.
we should probably say like Tacoma is a game about story, so we're gonna spoil it.
Yeah,
We're
we're
gonna spoil it.
We're going to
We're gonna
spoil
spoil
this incredibly short narrative-focused game.
Yeah.
So hopefully you played it, because it would be a real bummer if you...
Honest-
Shoot,
yeah.
what was your running time?
Like
Keenan?
2 hours.
Yeah.
Like
2
it
hours?
wasn't.
Yeah, I did.
No
I think,
exaggeration.
I think
like,
it took me about 2.5.
and I ran through almost everything I could find.
Yeah.
Like,
my previous playthrough listed as 2 hours, and this one was probably like an hour and a half for me.
So honestly, like if you care, you should stop this and go play that because it's worth it.
Yeah, it's worth it. Don't
it's-
rob the joy of playing this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
rob
let us do
yourself of
that.
No, I've got feelings about that. All right.
Wow, Matt just said it sucks.
Yeah. What the fuck, dude?
That's not what
You're
I
off
said.
the podcast.
Yeah.
But you're still editing it.
Yeah, go back to your editing dungeon
Wow.
and edit me and Keenan's new podcast, Batter Playstyle.
It's gonna be 45 minutes of burp sounds.
Yep.
And,
Hell yeah.
burp sounds interspersed with inhaling sounds.
Yep.
Um,
That's good editing, man.
yeah. So I did a thing.
What did you do?
So the Payday VR. I'm talking about games I played now.
Oh, yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I'm doing. The Payday VR. Finally, they unlocked more things. You can do. Yeah, you can do sniper rifles and you can do heavy machine guns now, which was not a thing you could do before.
That's cool.
I was a walking goddamn menace with the heavy machine gun.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
It was
The LMGs.
ridiculous because normally in the game you can't aim down sights
Yeah,
with the heavy machine gun, but in VR there's no fucking way they can stop me
yeah.
from doing
You just
that.
hold it up to your face.
I just hold it up
do
to my face, and it's just like, oh, the only thing that was a problem was shields. But then I got the trait that makes the shields like jostle a little bit when you shoot them. So it's like just shoot them, and then they jostle, and like, look, feet, and then like they're gone now. And that was a whole load of fun. I played on a higher difficulty than I've ever played on before in VR with the machine gun and the muscle perk deck. That's the one that makes you regenerate health, and it makes people freak out when you full auto with the machine gun.
Oh, cool.
So like I would walk into a room and start full autoing, and everyone would go, "Oh fuck!" And like then
Yeah, I walked in mid Matt's playstyle to the living room, and Matt went, "Keenan."
my play style.
Yeah, his bad playstyle. I walked into his play session midway through, and I walked into Matt looking at me through the tiny crack underneath his VR headset that he can see me through, and he's grinning. He's like, "Dude, they updated Payday. I got a machine gun in this hand and a katana in this hand, and nothing's touching me because I'm in heavy armor." And I'm like, "That sounds great." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm slow as shit." I'm like, "But you're a walking turret." He's like, "Exactly." Telling me about how he can do stuff over here with one hand and shoot over here like this, like fucking arms crossed.
So I'm like fixing the drill and then machine gun up in one hand with the other one.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
It feels good. You should really figure out a piece of plywood for you
Yeah.
to join me in that. It feels good. That was the thing I really it's not the best guns in the world, but Payday's never been the best. That's not what it's about. Right?
Payday gleefully rolls in its mediocrity.
And there was after you left, I did a match on First World Bank.
Okay.
The original game level.
Yeah.
And there was a part, we had finished all the objectives, and we're going to the copy room to blow a hole in the wall to go down to the basement and load all the bags into the garbage truck. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, nah, I'm staying up here. So, they all ran through all the offices, and I was just like, burr, slice, burr. And I was like, yeah, coppers! It felt like heat. It was great. Which, if it feels like heat, then design goals achieved for Payday.
When it feels like heat, like fucking Almir Listo smiles.
It's like, oh, Almir all the way in Sweden. Oh, I got a chub, what?
Yeah.
Out of nowhere. Like, what's happening? And then, do you remember, did you ever play Diablo 3 extensively?
Yes.
Do you remember there was, the dungeons that you, teleport into, and they're, completely fucking random?
Yeah.
And it's just, how long can you go in this dungeon, right? Warframe added that.
Oh, cool.
Which is, they really needed that, it's like a thing where you're like, hey, that hyper efficient thing that I've put 1 million hours into building and making the build perfect, go do that.
Let's go find out how long it works.
Let's go find out how long I can go doing that. So that's really fun, actually.
Nice.
what Warframe needed for a really long time. And it's fun for the sake of itself rather than the drops you're getting, which is a thing that hasn't been the case for me for a while. So
that sounds good.
It's really fun. If you go into a pub match, you will find out very quickly what is efficient and what is not, because you will be doing nothing. But solo, it's a lot of fun.
I always thought that mode in Diablo 3 is really funny because it's really good for that game too. Like it was like a really great addition, but it's also like the most damning thing about Diablo 3's like story campaign is that like you could put the whole thing in a blender and and then just dump it on your plate and it all tastes the fucking same.
It's like you got your tomatoes. Yeah. That's cooldown reduction.
Yeah.
You got your cheese. That's AP.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like if you just take the levels and the monsters and you just mix them up and you cut out the story. It turns out people fucking love it.
I mean, to be fair about Diablo 3, that game was a lot of also ran of previous Diablo stories.
Oh, yeah.
If you had played those and liked them the way we all did, you're like, yep. Heard that before. Larry looks cooler. Yeah. Like
they institutionalized the fucking Mephisto run.
Yeah.
From Diablo 2. Like that was the order of the day when it came to farming loot. It's how do we let people have their Mephisto run but not ask them to actually do
the same thing?
And then I started playing Tyranny.
Oh, cool! You got back on Tyranny?
Well, I've been playing it when you're in morning when I'm getting ready for work. I've been playing it with you're off because it's on your account, right?
Yeah.
I think I have it too.
And it's so remember the thing I was saying about Steam sharing. You are less priority than Owen. So any games you have seems like no, Keenan doesn't have those. And I'm like, okay, thanks Steam.
Yeah.
We should talk to the two people that work on that function about.
Sure. I mean, I'm sure they give a shit.
I'm sure there's totally two people that still work on that function that they implemented 2 years ago or whatever.
Well, I mean, that's kind of the danger of letting people at large tech companies like Google and Steam work on whatever they want to work on. Is people like me where this edge case kind of hurts.
They come up with a cool project and it's like, yeah, we can just roll our desk over into this room and implement this new feature and then roll the fuck out of this room
and never support it ever
and
again.
And never come back into the Steam sharing room.
Yeah, like, hey guys,
because it's not that room anymore.
Do you remember Google Wave?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they shuttered Google Wave because it didn't do what they wanted.
Sure, and also it had overlapping functions with several other things they were doing. But what I'm saying is
it's a similar problem.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone ever forgot about Google Wave. I think they just
but I'm it's a pertinent example. And then at work, I brought in my computer today, and we played a bunch of Arrowheads. The kids were really into that.
That's the 2D top-down...
It's the Power Stone, with the chickens and the bows.
Everyone has bows.
Yeah, and it was really fun.
I still haven't played that, but it looks neat.
I mean, I got the guys at I saw it at PAX at the little indie, not the indie booth, not the indie mega booth, but there was a showcase thing right in the front, by the Sky Bridge. There was a showcase where you only were there for 1 day, right? And Inversus was there, Coffins was there, a few other games were in there that I checked out and liked, and Arrowheads was there. And I went up to them and I was like, "Hey, is this Power Stone with bows?" And they were like, "Yep, that's exactly what it is."
They were like, "We did it."
He's like, "Oh, cool! I'm glad that you were able to visual cue check out that's what was happening." Yeah, and so I was able to. He was like, "Hey, we're doing a free giveaway. If you put your name on this list, there's a chance you'll get the game for free." And I was like, "Cool." And I put my name on the list, and it was they were only there for 1 day. It was halfway through the day, and there was 5 names on there. I ended up getting a free copy.
Cool.
So they sent it to me for free. And
I wonder if the list is short enough. They're just yo, give them that.
Yeah, just I think it's the sort of situation where they were expecting to get 100 signatures. stuck around and talked to us and showed interest in the game, maybe they'll be maybe one of them will be evangelical about our game.
And now here you are.
Yeah, now here I am telling you that it's a fun game. We played it at do you remember Galen's graduation party?
Mm-hmm.
I think before you showed up, we played that a bunch. And it was a big hit. People really liked it. It reminds me a lot of Moles. Did you guys ever play Moles back in the day?
Yeah.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of like that kind of gameplay.
Cool.
Right.
Talking to fans about your game at PAX seems like the most fucking exhausting thing in the world.
Sure, and that's why I always try to be cool about it.
It seems like the most miserable thing to have to be doing.
Well, and if you're understanding what they're doing before they tell you, they're usually like, "Oh, good, he gets it. I can talk to you," like kind of thing.
Yeah, I try to treat them the same way that I would treat a waiter. Like, let them do their job. Let them be the expert. But then also, my first move always is to try and guess what I think their game is, so they can skip at least half the spiel that they've been saying all day to literally everyone they see.
Yeah.
And then you get to an interesting conversation with them.
One of my favorite conversations I ever had at PAX was with the devs for Hotline Miami.
Oh, sure.
And it was like the last hour of the last day.
Yeah, I remember that PAX.
And we had that really cool conversation
with the art guy.
He got really real with us.
Yeah,
and that was like one of my favorite experiences from PAX ever.
That's that good shit.
Yeah. So besides Tacoma, I've been playing Vermintide a lot. That game is really good. I can't really explain it. It's just really good. Smashing rats with the...
Oh yeah, I bought Vermintide.
Yeah. It's got a good feel.
Yeah, we should play some more.
Yeah, I played it one sitting. I
would enjoy playing with you.
Sure.
I'm down. Come around.
Anyway, Owen, what have you been playing?
I played my Labo.
Yeah.
Tell us about the Labo.
I've been composing bad piano music.
Okay.
So I guess if you don't, you all know what Labo is, right?
Would you say your musical style is a bad one?
Fuck off. This is me and Matt's podcast now. Baddest Playstyle.
So is this
eventually it's just Owen's podcast and its worst Playstyle.
Okay.
We'll go back to the name Tank Controls. It'll be just me.
That's a deep cut.
Yeah. And the deep lore of our podcast. No, so the Labo is this thing for your Switch, and you build giant weird peripherals out of cardboard and put the Joy-Cons in it in a specific way, and it uses the infrared sensors or the motion sensors on the Joy-Cons, so you can make big, goofy, weird peripherals. So
I think I saw a motorcycle handle.
Yeah. There's a little arcade motorcycle game where you actually hold cardboard handlebars and shit. I haven't built that one yet. I only built 2 of them. I still haven't gone back to it yet. But I built a cardboard piano that you can actually compose music on and stuff like that. And you can cut out cardboard waveforms. And it has a reader that you can insert it into, and it'll look at the waveform and then make the piano key presses that waveform that you cut out of a physical object.
Oh, that's dope.
That's fucking cool.
Also,
so you could do Tuvan throat singing waveform and jam it in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's crazy.
I don't know fully how that thing works, but it's cool.
Right. if it goes deep, that's crazy.
Yeah. Have you ever checked out online Pink Trombone? Have you ever checked that out?
No.
It's this simulator that simulates the inside of your mouth and nose.
Oh yeah.
And your tongue position, and you can fuck around. So I figured out how to make throat singing noises with that thing the other day. Anyway, yeah. So.
You can also put beats in that way. You can get a card and cut out. It'll have it comes with one where they're pre-cut and you can punch out the dots you want. But it's an old 40s ass computer punch card, and you literally punch out the holes you want.
Hell yeah!
And then that's your beat.
That's
it's just like a manual sequencer.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And then you can bang on the little piano keys, and it's cool. And I made a little remote controlled bug.
I hope music nerds get a hold of that.
Yeah.
I want to see some cool shit.
Yeah, it's super neat. I'm probably gonna. Yeah. That thing is super neat. I've been playing that a ton, and then I've been playing my normal bullshit. Playing PUBG and
But there's some engineer at Nintendo who helped design the overall design of the Joy-Cons.
Oh yeah.
Who's just still in rapture from the possibilities of what the
it's clear that this is something that they were cooking when they finalized the hardware. It's we want it to be able to be used in all these like fucking weird ass
Right,
ways.
they made these weird little flexible things, and then they're like, you could do this with it.
Well, there's that like party variety game they put out called like a 1-2 Switch.
Yeah.
And like one of the games in that is you're supposed to hold a Joy-Con in front of your mouth and pretend you're eating a cheeseburger, and the infrared sensor can tell that your mouth is flapping, and you can also just like wiggle your finger in front of it, but like
don't be a dick.
Yeah. But like they very clearly like put this hardware in with like the dream of using it.
Sure. And I like how they're making games that not only demonstrate what the Switch is capable of, but demonstrate to people who might not necessarily be looking into it, like game developers, third-party game developers, who are like, oh, the Switch can do this weird thing.
Yeah.
We should put that in our game.
Oh, totally.
Right? Like,
yeah. There's nothing stopping any other game developers from like saying hey, print out this template we made, and I don't think a lot of devs will go for that.
But you'll always get your what was the fucking I guess it does make you a specific to the platform, but there was the Nintendo made that game where there was like a Game Boy Color game where it had like a light sensor on it, and that was like the strength of your beam cannon in the game, and then there was the like Nintendo's always doing that shit, right?
And also it seems like they also like to put hardware features in aspirationally. Yeah. Like the Game Boy Color has that like infrared sensor or the Pokemon does not.
Okay, I thought it was
because only Red, Blue, Gold, and Silver are on Game Boy Color.
But there was some feature that a Pokemon game had, a single Pokemon game had, that was only usable on the Game Boy Color. It was like it was like you got two Game Boy Colors together, and you had them, and each of you got like a random item.
Oh yeah, that's right. In Gold and Silver, you're right.
That's what I'm talking about.
The mystery gift.
Like they've always done this though. Like even the Super Nintendo has this like one thing that only a couple games use, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like there's always been this like hidden tech.
Yeah.
In their stuff.
Yeah, Nintendo's is bonkers. They're like so weird.
They're the fucking Willy Wonka of video games.
They're backwards ass Willy Wonka because they hate the internet.
Yeah.
And they hate selling their back catalog.
Dude, Willy Wonka would fucking hate the internet.
Yeah, he would.
He would fucking hate the internet.
Him and Prince would be like, internet needs to
Willy Wonka. I was worried I was getting the names mixed up for a second because it's Charlie
Bucket.
Is it Charlie Bucket?
Charlie Bucket.
Yeah, Charlie Bucket. Yeah.
And Grandpa Bucket.
I always get mixed up because...
By the way, Grandpa's like the worst one in their family.
I just get it mixed up because sometimes it's called Charlie and Chocolate Factory and sometimes it's called Willy Wonka.
Well, the book is Charlie
and
Chocolate.
I know. Yeah. And so, like,
And the good one is called Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah, so I sometimes second guess myself.
Yeah.
And think like, I must have gotten it wrong. It's like, no, you did it right this time.
Anyway, games.
Yeah, so I played PUBG. They did a big update. I think it went live today, but we've been playing the test server. Okay. They put a muscle car in the game, and that thing goes super duper fast and has a ton of torque.
Okay, so torque is something that a vehicle needs.
Vehicles have been missing that.
It's really hard to drive that thing around Miramar because it's so fast and has so much torque. It just launches off of everything,
which I'm sure you're way into.
Yeah. So, and they put like a ton of new parts in the game, and it's actually kind of hard to parse it all. Like, there's like three...
like a lot of gun modifications.
We should send him that video we watched.
I believe he can check out YouTube for himself.
Okay.
There's like 3 new foregrips or something, and now all the assault rifle parts can go on all of the light sniper rifles.
Yeah. All the DMRs.
Yeah, which they've now like broken out into its own category.
Which was
in the
always
game.
kind of the case, but anyway, yeah.
But like from like a mechanical perspective of like this goes in
this goes in
that. Which I really like because it just means I get silencers for my Mini 14 way more often.
Oh yeah, because both.
Yeah.
That's good.
So yeah, that update was fucking cool.
Yeah, cool.
And yeah, that's what I've been playing.
Are we ready for Keenan?
Yeah, Keenan, tell us what you play, Keenan.
Very little. There was like a week and a half stint in the last 2 weeks where I just didn't play video games at all.
Yeah, I noticed that.
And then I got online and my friends were playing PUBG, and I really wanted to play PUBG with my friends, and that was great.
Yeah, during that week and a half stint, I played a lot with Sean.
Yeah.
Sean's been getting under my skin.
Yeah.
You hear that, Sean?
I think you've let him know.
Yeah.
So, Keenan, you were playing Stellaris.
I have been playing Stellaris.
How'd that go? How did the Hive Mind go?
It's the first one. You know how, like, Paradox games, you're, like, building, and you're like, this is cool, and then you're like, I'm gonna go to war with that guy, right? You think, like, hey, things are stable, I'm feeling good, I'm gonna go to war with that guy. So I went to war with that guy. And then that guy and I had a really long, protracted war where I got to a stalemate point. That game forces stalemates way harder than other Paradox games.
Yeah.
So forces a stalemate because we're both super war exhausted. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'll just wait for the truce to burn out and then really fuck him up because I won most of the naval battles here, right? Like, it was a testing the waters thing is what I decided. So I get to the point where I can declare war on him again, and I'm like, cool, let's do this. And someone else declares war on me, fucks my fleet up, and I'm like, this game's over. So, like, I went to war with my target, and then someone else was like, oh, I see you got a war there. Ah, it'd be a shame if something happened to your... like, my ship's just exploded.
Like, can you just imagine the enemy commander's like, oh, he's building a fleet. He's building a fleet, look at that. Oh, he thinks he's ready. He's like...
No, and I do that to the AI, so, like, I get it.
He thinks he's so tough.
Yeah.
Look at him. He's thumping his chest. He thinks he's so tough.
Yeah. But it's Stellaris, so it's like a crab man.
Yeah.
I remember I had one game of Stellaris where I totally destroyed this enemy race, and they were like beetle people, right? And I looked at their like racial traits.
Yo, my people are eating some beetle people right now.
And I looked at their racial traits, and I was like, oh, these people suck. Like, and then I went to their planets, and all their planets were like the exact opposite of what my people needed to live. So it's like really hard for my people to be down on the planet,
right?
And when you take over a planet, you need to go fight their armies at some point,
right.
And their guys had like massive racial bonuses to ground combat.
Yep.
So we went down there. We went down there, and it was like Afghanistan for the Soviets. Like it was just like, oh, it's so hot. Oh no, beetle people. So he had to spend like. I only ended up taking like one or two of their systems, which wasn't even worth it because all their planets are garbage.
Yeah.
Because I can't use them.
Yeah.
And I ended up like orbitally bombarding them for just so long.
Yep.
Until there was just like one army left, and we would show up and just be like, PAH! Like the one beetle guy.
That's how I fight in that game. So I made a new game, and I've been fucking around. So that first game was like my first game back in a long time. So I was like, fuck it, give me a random race. And like, it just randomizes everything. And it gave me like a hive mind, and I've never played a hive mind before.
Just fun.
But I liked a lot of the mechanics with that. Like, one of the mechanics is that you just don't fucking care how happy your people are, because they're not individuals.
They're not people.
It doesn't matter. And I really like that game's text changes based on what you're doing.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, when you're
your
hive mind...
government civs change the way it talks to you.
Yeah, so, like, your hive mind... When pirates happen when you're a hive mind, they're like, yo, there's some rogue drones over there, and they took some ships. And you're like, oh, fuck, no. Instead of it being like, yo, there's some dickholes with spaceships they put together over there. Like it's... And so, like, I was enjoying just, like, those things saying different things, and then there's enough systems in the game that I haven't played with. In my new game, I was playing it kind of cool because I had a lot of planets near my first planet. So I colonized all those.
You're building high instead of wide.
Yeah, so I had a bunch of, like, I literally have, like, 4 planets next to my home planet that I just colonized immediately. Okay. And then I didn't really expand because I didn't want to over-expand. Well, that put me on this level where, like, I have a shitload of resources, and I finally meet other species. Like, you're exploring the map, and you're like, man, there sure isn't anyone near me. That's suspicious. So I start meeting other species, and they're all, like, at least 9 systems away. So I have, like, a whole giant pie slice of the galaxy that no one is in anywhere around me. So I just start sending dudes to build borders at the edges. And at one point, the dude to my left and I were looking at the same, like, there was this one string of systems that came off of one point and then just strung all the way down.
Yeah, because they're linked. You were doing, like, system to system.
So, like, wormholes are just, like, a thing that happens that you can...
Oh.
It's kind
of
a
little...
I liked those systems, but I understand why they did it. Anyway, so I'm literally, like, building the territorial claim on this place that will lead to this entire string of really good resource systems. And their builder shows up right next to me and builds their shit faster than mine and is like, get the fuck out! So naturally we went to war with them over this string of stuff.
Yep.
And I totally won, but it was like...
So naturally, I've learned nothing from my previous wars. And
No, I looked at it long and hard. They've been getting their ass kicked by the dudes north of them that don't care about me.
Mhm.
So I was like, hey, you went to war with them? Bad news, friend. I'm taking your stuff.
So in the game, immediately after the one with the beetle people,
Mm-hmm.
where it was really annoying.
Welcome to the Stellaris cast, people.
Well, we're just going to talk about Stellaris for a minute, because it also
I also
builds-
really haven't played much else.
it
so-
makes stories, right?
Yeah.
So I did one where there's the option to have two different species coexist on the same planet.
Uh-huh.
So I had the rapid breeding, really good at ground combat dumbasses, and I had the ethereal, fey, very good at talking and
Mhm.
convincing people to do things.
Sure.
Guys who breed very slowly.
Nice.
So all those guys were in all leadership and
The
command positions.
Malthusian
Yeah, and then
lords of
all-
the
of
orcs.
the bugs.
All pops I needed to just be there were big orc dudes, big orc
They're
gator
the
guys.
founders in the Jem'Hadar.
Yeah, exactly.
So I hit this point where there was this planet that had some bugs on it, and I got uplift, and I was like, I've never done that. Let's do it on these bugs. Yo, those bugs suck.
Yeah.
They're so bad. And my civics automatically listed them just as food.
Yeah, because
So,
you're a
like-
hive mind.
So like everyone gets mad at me that we're eating the bug people that are breeding on this planet. Like, yo, you just eat those guys? They think, dude. And I'm like, I'm a hive mind. I'm like, yeah, it's whatever. Yeah, like, yo, you mean you don't grow bugs for food? What's
It's
your
like,
problem?
You're eating these things that talk. What? They're not me.
Are you going to be cool about this? Or?
So yeah, that's pretty much where that game's at. But like, I
I'm
did
not
this
gonna eat
massive.
myself.
I did this massive expansion once I realized no one was around me, where I was like, yo, hold the edges, and then I'm just filling all that space in. And so I just have way too many resources, which is part of the reason the war was a good idea.
Yeah.
This is like, I have way more coming in than I'm putting out,
Yeah,
so I
like-
can lose my entire fleet and build it again and
Yeah.
not even care.
If
like,
you have a lot of red rock, you can just...
yeah, I just go. Like, and then I played a little bit of HOTS again. But, like, I have probably put in, between Tacoma and everything else, 8 hours of video games in the last 2 weeks.
Most of that was Stellaris. Anyway, speaking of Tacoma, let's talk about Tacoma.
Let's talk about Tacoma.
Hey, Owen,
What's good?
why did you Tacoma?
Because I like this game a lot. I played it a while back, and almost no one else I know played it, which really bummed me out because I think it's fucking good.
Yeah?
It's
Yo, but why though?
What's good about
Yeah,
it?
why were you like? What struck you about the game?
when I say this word, you have to imagine that there's spaces between each letter. It's the aesthetic.
Okay.
No, I don't know. It's a cool space narrative game.
Those are things Owen likes.
I bought
all
this-
of those
So
words.
it just checked all the boxes.
Yeah,
Okay.
I loved Gone Home, and
Okay.
this is Gone Home, but like more up my alley.
but in a space station.
Yeah. So when I played this like a year ago or whatever that it came out, like I liked it then, and I like it now. I want you guys to play it because you guys didn't play it
No.
before. I mean, obviously you played it.
Now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just now.
Recently.
It's got like labor unions and evil corporations and rocket ships and space and AIs and
Yeah.
I liked all that shit.
I really like the way it breaks that open. Like, it's not like there's a slow crawl in the beginning or anything.
oh yeah.
Like, it's really organic that you through learning about the people that you're watching the AR logs of,
Mhm.
you learn like so much context of how they live and how society works just through the way they're talking about it.
Yeah, and it's also like historically near term enough that like anything that the game doesn't explain, you can just fill in with whatever's happening now because it's set in like the 2080s or something. So it's like some of the characters are like from like fucking Singapore, and like I had this thought like, what the fuck's going on in Singapore these days in this game? Like I was just wondering aloud about it, and it's like, I don't know, probably not that different from right now. It's just there's more rockets.
Yeah.
Right. Right. So the cast of the game is very broad in their passports. Is the way you sort of learn.
Yeah, you get
Yeah.
to see their passports. The countries they're from are really interesting.
Yeah,
For-
Yeah, like as a history nerd, it's like, whoa.
yeah. It's
Because none of like the closest to anything I even recognized as far as like an actual country is like somebody is from the Republic of Dallas.
Or there's
it's the Freedom Republic.
Well, and there's a California is one too.
Yeah, but it's like
your character, I believe, is from the Republic of California.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I wasn't good enough at reading the passports when I read that first one.
Well, it has the bear and
That's the wrong bear. Also, that bear's extinct. Both of those bears are extinct.
No, this bear doesn't exist yet.
It can't. That bear is extinct.
For the viewers at home, Owen's wearing a new California Republic shirt.
Yeah.
So the thing I really liked about like the way it breaks that stuff open is that you're given at the very beginning of the game, you're on your own spaceship,
mm-hmm.
and you're given like a little bit of info in your UI of like, here's the station. Here's what it did.
Did you notice? Sorry for interrupting.
No.
But did you notice that one of the first things that happens when you boot up AR is you run into no, you can't do that. Union rules say you can't do that.
Right.
It's like one of the very first things
like it
that
sort
happens.
of sets the stage there.
Yeah,
room does a really good job of like removing everything else that's going on. So you step off your ship after you dock, and the first thing you see is this pedestal with a couple of like alternate reality nodes that you plug into like behind your ears from what they look like the hands
put
did.
them on your head or something.
They're on there.
And then all these things start coming to life visually that are like AR overlays over what's actually
like
happening.
Sort of augmented reality.
Yeah. Which is fucking cool, because I like cool future shit like that. But it also like functions as like there's not just like the menu you can pull up on your own desktop, but the whole game is you're going into these areas and you're watching the station's recordings of what happened in this area, and while you're watching that, you can pause it and rewind and go forward, because one of the ways you get the exposition out of the game is by looking at other people's desktops when they access them in the log.
Yeah, you read their like emails and listen to their conversations and stuff.
Yeah.
But so I'm thinking about the beginning of the game. Like, what are the first things that happen? Right.
So
hold on.
Okay.
One of the very shortly before you run and you reach into the AR for the first time, and you start hearing the station manager, the station middle manager. She's Evie. She starts talking about union rules. We can't do that. One of the first things that happens is on your desktop, you get a message from the corporation you're contracting with saying, under no circumstances can you personally interact with the station AI.
Right.
Like, the first thing you get is a corporate regulation, second thing you get is a union regulation.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and also, you're told at the beginning that you're there to recover the AI core for the station.
Yeah, so, the only information they give you as you go in are picture sketches of the characters, presumably from, their corporate IDs.
Yeah.
And their names.
Those sketches, I believe, are drawn by Emily Carroll.
Okay.
Who's the artist who drew all the stuff for the Yogg.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
I fucking love that game.
Yeah, and she has a
new Yogg came out, Monster Prom.
Oh, yeah,
We need to play that. Yeah,
I heard about that. Yeah.
So, I like that you already have faces to names, and then the way the game displays people is they all have their individual color and whatever their job symbol is on their back, and then they're all different shapes to help with that. But they're basically just
blobs.
AR skeletons of people that are blob shaped like the person.
And so Natalie Kurashenko has a little circuit on her AR ghost.
Yeah.
And the doctor has
just call her Nat, everyone does.
Yeah, and Doctor has a Caduceus, and Bert has a wrench or something like that, and they each have a...
Yeah, so it's really cool because these people have these identities that, you have a face for that, but their color and their shape and their voice...
But the only visual you're getting is their job and their color.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the voice acting's so good.
The voice acting, and the body language, too, also plays into it.
Yeah, so all of those things come together to give you, a really clear picture of this person without any, visual fidelity to it.
It pains me that there's no plans to put these games into VR.
Yeah, well, I wanted to talk about that because, Fulbright games would be amazing in VR, and it Fulbright doesn't need to put them in VR and probably shouldn't. Like, that would be like...
that would be a boondoggle.
Yeah, that would be a financial boondoggle for them, but, like, it kills me. Because, like,
It's so immersive already that you're, like, one step removed from it, and you want to be in it.
Like, I want to be on Tacoma, like, picking up the big pouch of Chup. We'll talk about the brands and the products later, like, in a little bit.
I was very disinterested in looking at food items, but there's other stuff I want to talk about as far as...
The food items all look very good.
The food items are great,
I did like all the canisters, like the wine toothpaste tubes.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
I liked the little pyramid watermelon.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that.
So they're in little cardboard pyramids, and when you go to the storage room, there's like 4 of them, and then there's upside down ones nestled into the empty space between the pyramids.
Sure.
Like, someone got bored one day when they were stacking shit or whatever.
Or it's like, yo, this is going into space, pack them as best you can, like, you know.
There's so much, like, I mean this, Fulbright people, because I know you're listening because you love our podcast. I mean this in the best possible way. There's so much dumb shit in the station.
Dumb, lovable shit.
But the dumb shit is what makes the game reverberate with the care and love that makes you feel like it lets me let go and immerse myself in it.
Yeah.
Like,
the
fact that someone else gave a shit about this enough to put Chup on the floor, or to put to put those fine details, and that shit is there for a reason. They thought about why it was in this specific location. Somebody else gave a shit about that specific detail enough that allows me to get out of the mindset of, okay, how do I frack this game for more content, and just to be there.
One of the ones that really struck me is so Gone Home is set like around Christmas, right? Mm-hmm. So there's like some Christmas decorations, like the Christmas duck, right?
Sure.
So in Tacoma, you can just find a back closet. It's not
there's a fucking Christmas duck.
Well, there's a Christmas duck, but it's not any holiday right now. It's just happening on some day. But you can find the closet where they keep all the holiday decorations.
It's 3 days from a holiday.
Is it? Okay,
because it's Obsolescence Day.
Well, sure, yeah.
Which we should talk about in the game. Obsolescence Day is the day. It's like the day that the government of the Earth decided that it's illegal to have a station like be run by an AI,
only
automated.
By an AI.
Yeah.
You need to have a number of humans there to like.
Well, you need to have one human there to service the AI, and if there's one human who's there over a certain duration, there needs to be a mental health expert and a medical officer, and if there's more than 3 people, then there needs to be a manager.
Yeah.
So basically
there needs to be 6 people.
Yeah, everyone on the station is a life support system for Nat, and Nat is a life support system for Odin.
Yeah.
Which she can't access.
Yeah.
She can only interact with the AI and try to teach it stuff.
Yeah.
In a very controlled situation.
In like some like Voight Conf ass.
Yeah.
When you find those logs,
and she's not trying to. She's trying to make the AI better.
I know.
Her job is to improve it.
I know, but it's still very much. It's like It's like a cross between the Voight Kampf test from Blade Runner and watching like a anti-shoplifting corporate briefing video for like a grocery store. Yeah. It's like those two things blended together.
So like we were talking about with the snacks and stuff, that there's like a package of Oreos on the floor here where they left it type shit. Does that immersive thing, right? Someone lives here, or lived here, before I showed up.
Well, and the game's full of one-off game assets, which is like supposed to be like one of those big no-nos when you're making a game. It's like dedicating a lot of time and effort to making like a 3D model that's only going to be used in a single place.
One treadmill that lives here.
But you can't make this type of game without doing that. Like,
and like on a space station, you're not going to have multiples of everything.
Yeah, like
right?
like Evie has a guitar in her quarters. There's only 6 people in the station. They can't all have guitars.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, that'd be fucking dumb.
I was one of those people in Gone Home who obsessively tried to put things back.
Oh, sure.
So I very much appreciate that there's like discrete lock-in points. Yeah. When I picked up this magazine, I'll put it exactly where I
the first time I picked
it.
something up and didn't put it right back, I was like, oh no.
I felt bad.
And then I put it right back and I was like, oh.
I found a skull. I found a skull in someone's room, or in a room, and I spent forever trying to look around for the rest of the skeletons.
See, I did that backwards.
I found the skeleton.
I found the skeleton, and then I found the head, and I was like, nah, buddy.
No, when I found a skull in a weird place, I was like, there's a skeleton somewhere. Like, went to go find it.
I'm glad we all put that back.
Oh, I didn't put it back. I just found the skeleton.
Oh, okay.
I think you get an achievement for putting it back.
I was not super good about putting things back.
Okay.
Like, this place is a fucking mess. And also, because it's my second playthrough, I already know that everyone left and is not coming back. So, like...
Oh, yeah. Spoilers.
We mentioned that at the very beginning.
I know, but we hadn't really talked about story
yeah.
yet.
So, like, on my second playthrough, like, I'm just like, yeah, fuck it, you know, like, throwing books, like, they're probably going to shoot this station out of the sky anyway, just for funsies.
Well, they're going to be real mad about what happens in the end.
Yeah.
You know? So, does anyone have anything else general to say, or do we have any more plot threads right now? Because I have a question I want to ask that's going to derail us.
Is there, like, even music in this game?
Yeah.
I was so immersed I didn't notice it.
Well, there's diegetic music, like, there.
And every time you go into someone's cabin for the first time,
yeah.
if you load them up, they are making music, usually.
Yeah,
but, like, there's not very loud, passive music throughout the game.
It's all there. Yeah.
Weird.
So...
okay, what's your question?
Who's your favorite character?
It's probably Natalie. She seems like the most fun to hang out with.
I fucking hate her taste in music so much.
Yeah, but who cares?
I hate it so much.
I like that she's into those, like, weird Japanese boy bands.
It's like, and two of them are the same person, but one's a wizard.
Yeah.
Also, I follow the person who those pictures are on Twitter, and it's amazing that it's that person.
That's good.
She's one of Nina's friends.
Oh, okay. Sure.
But, like,
Of course, yeah.
I randomly, like, oh, a lot of people I like on Twitter like this person. Follow, and then, like, oh, hey, that's that person.
It was somewhat abraded on me, initially.
Oh, yeah?
So I did that. She was not my favorite.
I really like green, atmospheric engineer guy.
Botany guy?
Because, like, he's everything you get from him as far as, like, his backstory and everything, he's really interesting to me in the context of, like, this dude's doing his own thing outside of everyone on the station, but he still, like, tries to interact with them.
Yeah.
In a way where a lot of other people aren't even worried about anything after this. And he's, like, he's got evidence that he invested in the weird magical space colony fucking... He bought a cabin on the...
Oh, he bought a timeshare?
He bought a timeshare, and then
on the thing that they're trying to, like, manipulate into existing.
Yeah. So he bought a timeshare, and part of like the email that you get about that is like, hey, you bought this thing. Anytime anyone rents your cabin, you're gonna make hella money.
Yeah.
And
so
it's like,
he bought it as a way to secure his son's future.
Right.
I guess I missed that email.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that made him something I related to a little bit better than the other characters, because, like, he's in this situation he doesn't like, but he's doing what he can to make it right.
The fact that he turned into, like, a nervous wreck when shit went bad, like, made me like him a lot less.
Yeah.
Where he's like, well, what if we all just get in the cryotubes and trust in the corporations? It's like, man, fuck off.
Yeah, but like, I think that he's,
I think it's a very human response.
Yeah, that's kind of what I liked about him. Like, he's...
I mean, he's the only one who hasn't been dicked over by the corporation. Also, all of his emails before that are him talking about the only reason he's staying is because he doesn't want to lose a percentage of his, like, loyalty money.
Right, like,
but it's just that, like, during the disaster, he's, like, actively distracting people who are, like, trying to save everyone's fucking lives.
He, more than anyone, is at the end result of the game.
Well, so we should probably talk about that, because there's probably, there might be at least one person listening to this who hasn't played the game. Maybe we should mention what the disaster is.
So, the space station, it's like an as it's described to its occupants, it is like an unspecified debris strike on the station or something like that.
It takes out the long-term communication and the ability to generate more oxygen.
Which is like kind of a lot like what happens on the Discovery in 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Yeah.
Is Hal first thing Hal turns off the antenna.
Yeah.
Because of instructions he got on Earth. I thought that was fun.
Yeah, no, like there's enough of it that rhymes from other things that
I should say my favorite character was the Doctor.
Yeah.
And it was literally one moment was in her emails that made me like her more than any other characters. It was the email she got from corporate that says, "We're willing to like reinstate you on this like the station from the space elevator that like everyone's going to, and it's like a." But there was like an accident, right? And that's why she's here. It was like, we're willing to reinstate you if you take full responsibility. And she's like, nah.
No,
I'll stay
the
here.
AI fucked up,
Yeah,
and I'm
like,
going to hold to my principles.
Not my fault. See ya.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah. So my reasoning for liking Green Guy is by the end of the game, he's the one who needs what happens the most. Right? Because he's like bought into the whole system in this way that that he means well, but he's not doing the things that will help him long term more.
Yeah. So again, back to the disaster that happened is to the occupants of Lunar Transfer Station Tacoma. There's a debris strike that took out their communications and long-term life support, and they're all gonna die.
And they sell you on this pretty well early on because there's like some shit that's on fire on one of the rotating rings. Like some shit exploded.
I mean, some stuff did blow up.
Yeah.
And what you come to find out over the course of the game is that Odin was instructed by
the
to
corporation
explosively decompress all the oxygen reserves.
But also, one thing I noticed is that they, in their communications with Odin, they lie to Odin about rescuing the people, because I bet Odin can't allow these people to come to harm.
Yeah.
So they're like, of course, Odin, shuttles,
we're doing it. We're sending
shuttles are on the way.
I really love that Odin's like, really?
Yeah.
You're really doing that?
Well, and then like, you get to see that conversation of Odin talking to another AI, and the AI is like, the shuttles have been canceled, and Odin's like, okay.
They're gonna die.
Yeah, they are going to die, and it's like, we are ending communications now.
Yeah.
Like, yep, we know.
Odin's like,
yeah, like you can, it's a text log, but you can feel
you
the
can
AI
feel Odin.
caring.
Because up to that point, Odin has mostly been a verbal experience for you.
Yeah.
Like, he has a voice.
Yeah,
he's a little floating upside-down triangle.
You can hear recordings of him speaking
you
to
said
people.
upside-down pyramid. He is an upside-down
He's a little melon snack box.
Yeah, he's a little melon snack box, yeah. I did like that all the AIs were little, like, cartoon characters. They reminded me of Nuclear Throne. Like, from Nuclear Throne.
Did you guys see the poster that showed, like, where
each
the
one...
AI live? Yeah. That was a really neat infographic.
I like how the main character has like a dipshit AI helper, like who's named Minnie, and all Minnie says is "Yep, okay."
Well, so it's interesting. So I've been thinking about that too. But that she has like the super
the baby AI.
Well, she doesn't have an AI. What she has is she has like a fucking like Amazon Echo running her.
Yeah,
shit.
okay.
I would
because they explicitly don't have an AI.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I bet she has a algorithm and not like a sovereign person.
She has constructed what feels like an AI in interaction, but is not actually an AI.
I spent the entire last bit of the game being like, when are you going to offer me the choice? When are you going to offer me the choice? And then when she starts speaking, I'm like, oh, you just made the choice. You made the correct choice for me. Yeah. Thank you.
The thing I like, we talked about this after I finished.
Should we finish describing at least like the gist of what happens?
Okay, sure.
So they kill the state. They put the station in a state where the people on board will die. And this is you find out to manipulate things back on Earth. Legislation passed that requires people to be serving AIs, which makes their giant set of space timeshares not cost effective.
So you run into this dialogue with the CEO of the company and like a board member, where the CEO has been running simulations on the geopolitical situation.
No. It was an AI.
Yeah, it's an AI.
It's the star-shaped AI.
Okay, so he goes and talks to the AI.
Because the AI is the one that, like, originated this idea.
Right.
Yeah, the AI was like, we have one plan that'll work.
Yeah, so the AI is like, I've done all the math on everything forever.
One plan will work.
And the best possible option with 94% success rate for what we want is to start to make an accident somewhere like this.
And then try and get...
No, it wasn't even something... They were specifically like, you should do it on Odin's station.
Right.
Yeah.
You should do it here because there are just the right amount of people for it to be a story that affects us without it being a massive profit loss, etc.
Yeah, because like when the legislation of how many people have to be on a station went out, like the stock of this company fucking tanked. And it's not going to recover unless that legislation gets repealed.
Right. So there's all this like corporate skullduggery happening way off off station, and what you're watching are the people directly affected by it.
I absolutely love the themes, because it's so, like, you're expecting this game to be like, oh, cool, outer space, and it's like, oh no, these are, like, super pertinent to, like, now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like job obsolescence through automation, and like...
Oh, and then the African-American lady talking about, I'm the first person in my family to get a job in space, and that kind of shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, so the game sets the situation through everything you're reading that people go to school at corporate universities to learn a job function, and then the whole goal for the company is for you to stay within that company and continue to be used by that company, and you gain what is called brand loyalty?
Company loyalty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
so, like, companies, like, they have mining scripts.
Yes,
right.
They have mining scripts.
So there's loyalty, which is regular money, and then there's brand loyalty, which is company money.
Yeah.
And the exchange rates are awful. Go figure.
Well, so, like, if you transfer, it's awful.
Yeah,
but if you stick with the company, it's not.
Right. It's a system set up so that you live at Amazon or wherever forever.
Yeah,
or Hilton, or it was Amazon, Hilton, and then what was the other university? I don't remember.
Yeah. There were a couple that were like actual schools. Like the doctor has a Johns Hopkins University. Like
she's a real doctor. She's not a fake ass.
Yeah, she's not like, a fake corporate.
She's not
doctor.
a prime doctor or whatever the fuck.
The British guy he was in the Hilton University.
Yeah.
And he's wearing like a football jersey for the Hilton football team.
Well, and he's an effective character to show how this works because he did switch teams.
Yeah.
He is not afforded nearly as many things.
Him switching teams is the reason these people aren't fucking dead.
Right. So, like...
Oh, yeah, because it's his friend from Carnival.
It's his friend from Carnival Cruises.
Comes
and picks him up on the long-term Jupiter Carnival cruise.
When you're reading their dialogue, you don't know what this guy does at Carnival. You just know he's at Carnival.
No, you find out about halfway through that he's captaining... you find out about the voyage that comes and rescues you, that it's going around the moon of Jupiter.
I didn't get the detail that he was the captain until that dispatch came up, where it's like, this ship and that captain. I'm like, that's the guy we were talking to! You're like...
Can you imagine how expensive that cruise must be? Because, like, first of all, cruise in space.
Yeah.
Hecka expensive. That cruise is 8 months long?
Yep.
That's so long to be on a cruise. That is so long. And like to go,
but it was like the first of its kind.
Yeah. But like to the moons of Jupiter and back in 9 months is also like
crazy fast.
It's super fast to go to Jupiter. So it's like you were also like not at all on an efficient trajectory to go to Jupiter. It's like this is going to be so ludicrously expensive. Like even for a spacefaring civilization, like this is so bonkers expensive.
So they set the stage with
also
all
8 month vacation. What the fuck?
But think about the way everything works. It's not necessarily an 8 month long constant vacation with the way you can just pull up your email and do shit.
Yeah, I guess so. If you're into like fucking 40, like light minute to like a couple hour light minute round trip on your emails.
If you can afford this cruise, you can afford to work for 5 minutes at a time on this cruise, right?
Yeah.
So they set up all
Wally Light.
You just go write a book.
The fact that all the characters have different relations to their companies and everything helps set up like how regular people live.
Yeah, it gives you it gives you a good cross section of the world.
Yeah,
and then the impending nature of automation on the workforce.
Right.
That's like very real for us.
The company made a fucking holiday about your obsolescence.
No, because it's supposed to be alright, because it's not your obsolescence, because you need 6 people per AI.
It's not your obsolescence because the unions won the argument.
Yeah.
That's the only reason.
They talk about in the first one, you go and read the emails, it's like, no, it is your right from the union, you're getting an email, it is your right to celebrate on this day the fact that you have a fucking job.
It's a good thing.
Yeah.
But the companies call it obsolescence day to twist the knife a little bit. Like, it's this, like...
Also, the other thing that's, like, super fucked up about what the Ventress Corporation is trying to pull is they want there to not be people on these space stations to maintain them, that the AIs are going to be good enough or whatever. That doesn't mean there aren't lives on the stake. They're still selling fucking timeshares.
Right, they're trying to run this giant space hotel with no people in it.
So you're gonna have 6 tourists on a space station, and when like a fucking cosmic ray hits Odin's like circuit board and he stops working, they're just dead. Like, they don't have engineers and cyberneticists and doctors.
To be fair,
it's like mom, dad, and the kids and the dog.
To be fair, they seem to have the cosmic ray hitting the circuit board thing covered with the giant vault Odin is in.
So, no, they talk about that in the scene where the doctor and the botanist are exercising.
Okay.
They talk about how it's super heavily shielded, but it is a possibility that the AI will get hit by cosmic rays.
Also, the AI could just be hit by debris.
Yeah.
Like, there's debris under a certain size that we can't track on radar, and if it hits you, it is bad for you.
Yeah. So, like, the realities of this universe are fucking terrifying,
But the realities of our universe are terrifying.
Right, no, but that's the thing, is it holds the mirror up to you just enough that you're like, oh, fuck.
It's my favorite episode of Black Mirror.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cereal is bad? All downhill since the container.
The container?
So container is like held up as one of the first pieces of technology, and it's as being like high tech. Like, dude, I can hold food for tomorrow.
Sure.
Right? It's like everything civilization wise downhill since the invention of the container. It's like a anti-safe joke.
It's the backwards of best things since sliced bread.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, the end of the game, since we've set the stage. So part of the AR logs that you're watching is all of the people on the station saying, fuck the company mandate of getting in cryostasis and waiting for them to pick us up in 48 hours. There's not enough oxygen for that.
Yeah.
And so they build this plan very quietly in atmospheric engineer guy's place. They're like, yo, so we're going to do this thing and break company mandate to survive,
because the one tool they have is the shuttle that brings them shit.
They're doing the thing from Moon.
Right,
yeah.
right.
They get in the not human rated cargo sled.
Yeah. So
which blows the fuck up.
You're following them through. The game is all sequential, and you're following them through their preparations to try and hook this thing up to then put their pods in to maybe live.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Right, like it's a better chance than maybe they'll come get us in time.
Because like the way they put it is like the Ventress Corporation. All the Ventress Corporation knows is that the station has lost communication,
right,
and probably won't send a ship up just because their comms are down, and they're only going to be able to be in stasis for such a short time safely that they can't just wait for Ventress to get concerned at how long the comms are down.
Right.
Which was like also like a super awesome fucked up part of corporate policy.
Right. The manager knows the corporate math on their survival and goes, "Fuck all this."
Yeah, we're not getting out of here alive. Anyway, so at this point, we've been talking about Tacoma for a very long time. Mm-hmm. We were talking about doing a follow up to Tacoma when the commentary track comes out.
Oh yeah, that's coming out soon.
That's coming out soon, and I definitely want to do that. So, was there anything final notes before we move on to the last part of the podcast? And then
why don't we just finish talking about the game?
We're like at the end.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I'm just saying, like, let's do that.
Cool.
Like, yeah.
So you end up going in and grabbing the AI core, which is your job, and you find out those things that we mentioned. That hey, the company set up this accident and is trying to fucking kill these people so they can get what they want done. And then you take the AI core and you plug it into your ship in your weird cardboard AI core box,
which you don't get to see.
It's like plywood, isn't it?
There's some shit under there, but there's what?
It's a plywood.
There's probably some illegal shit plugged into your ship because you're part of the AI Liberation Front. So like the AI, you're not supposed to communicate with the AI. That's in your mandate.
Right.
But clearly, the protagonist has jacked that apparatus into her ship.
Yeah.
She fucking speaks to Odin at the end.
So the thing your character does without any dialogue option or anything, which is what Matt was talking about choice, is offers Odin, the AI that you've come to love through this whole exchange, political asylum from the company and with this spooky group you've been learning about.
I asks him if he consents to join the AI Liberation Front or whatever. And she, you also hear from Natalie's like an AI Liberation sympathizer.
Yeah.
Like you can.
Yeah, she's a black hat hacker.
Yeah. And she talks about how like there's communities that are sovereign on the moon or something like that.
Yeah.
For the AI Liberation and stuff like that. So like people can't come fuck with them. Well, hopefully not.
Yeah. But you moved to change your station.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
So the game, like Matt was saying, makes the choice for you in a way that's like, oh yay!
Thanks
Great.
for doing the right thing.
Great. Thanks for not presenting me with a terrible binary choice that I feel bad about or something.
Their game, their last game, like, isn't about choice. It's
Right.
about the narrative. You know, like, it's not supposed to be this, like, fucking Walking Dead, like, Sophie's Choice type thing.
Right. It's not a BioWare good bad decision. It's
Yeah.
just you experiencing the story. Neat.
This isn't a fucking Telltale game.
This game was rad.
Yeah. It's really good. Should play the game.
We talked fervently about it. That usually means we like it.
I liked the code to unlock Odin. I remember the first time I played the game, and the first time I ran into a keypad, I was like, I know these fucking nerds. They're going to make the password 0451, because that's like the immersive sim like thing you do, is the first keypad always has to be 0451. And I type it in and it doesn't. I'm like, well, fuck that. But it's when you go
It's
get
the last
Odin's
one.
core
Is
out,
it?
and it's the only one you don't type in actually yourself, I believe. It just like does
It
it.
just does it. All right. Well, that was cool. So the thing I noticed is that we were all trying to talk over each other.
Yeah.
So that's how much we had to say about this game. That's why I'm like 100% on. Let's talk about this game more when the commentary track comes out. That's why I'm
game.
Yeah. Cool.
What I want to put in one last thing. This is like a thing I meant to bring up earlier.
Sure.
One thing that struck me about the AR is that because it's a space, like in universe, the Tacoma Lunar Transfer Station is a space that is designed under the assumption that everyone has like little fucking AR stickers on their neck or whatever. So like there's not no signage, but there's way less signage than you would find in any industrial business space. Especially one that's in outer space. You know, like if you ever look at like pictures and photos of the International Space Station, there's labels on fucking everything.
Yeah. But instead, they're
but
AR.
If everyone has AR things, then like
hey Odin, where's
like every time you go to a new section and you plug your laptop in the wall, that panel that comes out is in no way visible. It's completely flush panel with the wall that is unmarked.
Yeah.
But you can see the AR overlay, and your person like touches it and it pops out, and you plug your little laptop into it. And
right, which also lets them not make a million textures. That like it's a neat game shortcut that the textures pop off the wall, so you don't have to make different wall.
Well, you still have to make the textures for the AR shit. It's not like,
but you're not splicing them into the wall.
Sure.
Like, it's neat. What else we got on the agenda?
Yeah, what's on the Doom agenda?
Did we want to talk about PUBG skins at all?
Oh shit! I forgot to check the prices on the or check what we said were the prices last time on that.
Yeah, fair.
We will delay that one.
Like,
further
is there
episode.
anything we want to talk about with PUBG skins?
All the new weapon skins are bad.
Yeah.
I
remember with Heyday it was like all of these are bad.
Yeah, all of them.
Yeah.
I have on the test server. I have a skin for the M16 that puts like a Spitfire shark mouth on the side, and I think it's especially awful because the Spitfire mouth is on the front, right where you hold it.
So you just cover it up.
So the only remarkable thing about the skin you can't see unless it's like on my back or I drop the gun. Because anytime I'd have it out, like my guy puts his hand there, and I was just like, this is so stupid. They're putting more beige skins into the game if the data files are any indication, which I'm into.
I just like games like this. It's like, can you just have curated community skins already? Because that's the only way you're going to have good ones. Like,
I think we'll still get bad ones if they.
No, you still will get bad ones. I'm not saying that it'll be 100% good. I'm saying like, there's no way a company can have the amount of man hours that a community can.
Oh, sure.
To come up with the 1,000 monkeys riding on a typewriter Shakespeare. You know, so like as soon as Warframe opened up their skins to community shit, it was like we started getting some really good stuff because it's just like
someone sits down and cares the fuck out of this jetpack.
There's no way a 9 to 5 in Toronto can produce the kind of thing that an unemployed guy can, you know, like, dude, like I know that's a horrible thing to say.
No,
but
like
no,
like
no, but it's. There's no way the 9 to 5 in Toronto can produce what 1 million unemployed guys can. It's like one unemployed guy versus the guy in Toronto. Like whatever, my money's on Toronto. He's got a job on the line.
Exactly. But there's there's a certain like math there that works, and one of the things like now there are guys and gals I think who are literally making a living, just making skins on that community curated interface.
Probably not a ton, but
they're making enough to do it full time.
No, not a ton of people. There's like probably the cream that floats to the top is making a living.
But I'm saying, like that in itself, the fact that that's even happening, that's like pretty incredible. Yeah. So I just think I think PUBG would benefit from that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like I think there's a lot of people out there who can slap some paint on an M4 and make it look beautiful, and I think PUBG would benefit from that.
There's only one weapon skin I've gotten that's not just utilitarian camo that I like, and it's just the 7.62 revolver, but all silver, and just because I think it looks really silly.
Yeah.
All the other skins I have applied in that game are just like the beige skin,
right?
So it matches my clothes
and half the terrain around you.
Yeah, exactly.
At all times.
So I like that they're filling out the rest of the beiges. But yeah, you're right. Like, all those skins are fucking awful, and like, not anything we've never seen before in like gun skins.
They're like Counter-Strike skins, but this is a game where the color of your gun kind of matters a little bit.
Yeah. It's like the shit we used to download for the specialists.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
When we were 14 and didn't know any better.
Man.
Specialist is a good game.
It is.
Those skins were
but the skins were not.
Those skins were so 14-year-old cool.
Yep. Yep.
I can't play that game anymore. I'm too old.
Oh,
the last time I installed it, I was like, I suck at this. I do not feel as good at this as I remember.
Yeah.
And like,
do you think that's us getting slower, or do you think that that's just you not being as full of yourself? Like, what?
No, like, I definitely can't play at the level I used to.
Okay. All right.
Like with that game, I am not quick in the way I used to be with that.
Interesting.
And like part of it is like that game is not super streamlined, like the way the powers work and shit like that.
Sure, it's a little jank.
Yeah.
And it's jank we were used to then, and now we find unacceptable.
Yeah.
Turns out Source Engine doesn't last forever.
Well, that's not even Source. That's
Half-Life 1.
Yeah, that's old Half-Life Engine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Specialist is a Half-Life 1 mod. Because we played that shit in like middle school. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a nostalgia game in high school.
Yeah.
Like,
hey, Keenan.
Hey, what's up?
Talk about wrestling.
Yeah, so the dumbest thing in wrestling this week.
Hey, Matt, what was the dumbest thing in wrestling this week?
Oh, right. So the dumbest thing in wrestling this week was watching my roommate, Keenan, dress up in a red Mighty Morphin Power Rangers costume. And
wait, aren't we not supposed to...
They're Battle Rangers.
Are we
hey,
not...
Saban, suck my dick.
No, please don't.
Aren't we supposed to not out Keenan, though?
Whatever.
It's cool.
Alright.
Like, I don't think that it's a really huge deal at this point.
I was chastised by Keenan.
Well, like, no one listens to this.
Yeah. I don't think it's a big deal. Watching him get thrown over the top rope.
Slapped around and thrown over a rope.
Oh, he got a face full of pizza butt.
Yep.
I'm raising my hand. I went to my very first wrestle show.
Yep.
You're supposed to shout solid steel a lot.
Yeah. Anytime the announcer says solid steel, you yell it.
You say solid steel.
Yep. 3, 2, 1 battle right there.
3, 2, 1 battle. You're supposed to say that a lot too.
Yep.
I remember almost nothing specific else about like anything else because I wasn't paying at all especially close attention.
Yeah.
Just sort of drinking it in.
Yep. Yeah, my friends showed up and supported me. That was cool.
Yeah.
For his wrestling debut. So that was the dumbest thing that happened. In
Wrestle
wrestling.
Boy got tossed around. No, the dumbest thing that happened is that the Red Ranger didn't win the fucking Battlemania.
The Bird did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that supposed to be their shtick? Is that they just get the shit beaten out of them?
So
the
far,
Battle Rangers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the Battle Rangers are supposed to be like joke characters.
Yeah.
Like they're supposed to be Dan.
They're the what's the name of the dudes that the Harlem Globetrotters play?
The Bricklayers.
Yeah, the Bricklayers.
Which is a great basketball player. Fun for coming out in the fucking 60s.
What's on the Doom agenda, Matt?
So
we got some awards.
We 1 second.
Okay.
There's video game issues / wish a game was different. And does anyone have anything for this? Or because I have a thing, sort of, but only if you don't have something.
I don't know. I wish Dwarf Fortress didn't like inevitably lead to frame rate death. Because my Fortress is doing really well. But
yeah, the universe ends in heat death. Dwarf Fortress ends in frame death if you play it long enough.
Like my Fortress is doing really well, and I'm like, I was getting excited on like new projects to transition to, but there's so many people and so much stuff going on in my fortress. It goes so slowly that I can quote play it all night and have almost nothing happen.
Oh, that sucks.
Not almost nothing, but just like I just watched dwarves do the orders I gave them from the last time I booted up the game.
Oh.
But also like there's a lot going on in my fort.
Man.
So like playing is not really on the same level.
So this is why I have like 200 hours logged or something in Star Trek Timelines on Steam. It's because I'll have Dwarf Fortress and that running at the same time, and I'll just sort of alt-tab back and forth between them, like poking at them, and then like watching shit on Netflix.
It's really weird to think that Dwarf Fortress is the thing that could benefit the most from the cloud.
Yeah. It could benefit from optimized code.
Yeah, I mean, like there's a bunch of things, but like...
like, it doesn't, it still doesn't handle multiple CPU cores.
Oh, okay.
And that's like super deep in its code where like, it probably can't, like...
It would be difficult.
It would require rewriting, like, an enormous part of the game.
The baseline of the game in a serious way.
I stumbled into a thread on the Dwarf Fortress subreddit. Hey, I hope you're listening, Dwarf Fortress subreddit.
Yeah, hi guys.
Hi guys. Of someone, like, basically laying out, like, Toady said it would be this much work to do it, but honestly, it's better to just wait out the clock until some other thing I don't remember or understand changes about the way Dwarf Fortress is made or the way processors work. And then this will be like a moot problem anyway.
Okay.
When quantum computing, Dwarf Fortress.
No, it wasn't even something that crazy. I can't remember what it was. But anyway, like...
But there's something on the horizon that'll make it a moot point.
There's a tech wall.
That's what it sounded like.
Right.
Well, if somebody wants to send a correction, they can send
I'd love to learn about it, even if you don't read it.
Playstyle@gmail.com. I was going to recommend. I felt it was a very good video essay that Harris Bomber guy put out recently. The Sonic is Capitalism video.
Yeah, I watched that too. That sure was something.
It was something. I think people should watch it. That's
shout out to Bomber guy.
There was some. Definitely shout out to Bomber guy. But there was a lot of stupid shit in that video, right?
Oh yeah,
obviously. But the points he made about like in sort of if we divide the video into fifths, the fourth fifth of the video is kind of where the good shit is, where he finishes talking about the room and starts talking about Cat again and like how that reflects on us as gamers, and like then he talks about the decision by EA to shutter Visceral and
the death threats
and the death threats and all that. Like he brings up some very good points in there.
It's largely talking about like the unarticulated rage of gamers.
Yeah,
and how you should be a louder voice if you're against those things in the community.
Yeah,
right. That if you don't want to be perceived that way, more of us need to be talking that way.
Yeah, don't be unarticulated rage.
Yeah.
Either articulate your rage or come to terms with it.
We need to, as gamers, come together as a community and make it unacceptable to issue death threats or physical harm or like call people cowards for merely reacting to their environment. Yeah, that kind of thing. I just wanted to bring that up.
Or I feel like game developers like fucking owe you something.
Yeah, or that like it was somehow a malicious decision to close Visceral or something.
Well, in that Star Wars game that Visceral is not making now, it's the best Star Wars game that ever existed because it's the one you're imagining. Because we know fucking nothing about it except that it was a Visceral Star Wars game
made by a really good game writer.
Yeah, so everyone has filled in their head what this game was.
It's going to be the Legacy of Kain, but none of the parts about Legacy of Kain that were bad, because I don't remember those. I only remember the good parts. Yeah. And then it's going to be Star Wars at the same time. Yeah. And go fuck yourself.
Anyway. Chewbacca's going to be my best friend. I'm going to fly the Millennium Falcon.
Okay. So
this is like such an 8-year-old best X-Man.
I get to punch George Lucas.
And I'm gonna have teleporting powers like.
He can have Wolverine's claws, shoot lasers out of his eyes, and he's got wings because those are cool.
Oh man, he's reminding me of a really embarrassing thing I used to say when I was a kid.
Go on.
Let's go.
My next door neighbor asked me who my favorite X-Men was. And my answer would, like, when someone would ask me that, like, who's your favorite superhero, who's your favorite X-Man, mine would be, okay, so he's Beast, but he's Beast with Wolverine claws on his hands and feet. And like that was like my real ass answer. It's like a superhero that doesn't fucking
I'm pretty
exist.
sure that character exists
And
now.
and is also like the most try-hard design that I could think of.
That design is really good. Oh,
Yep.
you should work in comic book.
Covered in blue fur.
Is it Blue Beast or is it
Oh, yeah, no, it's Blue Beast.
I want to clarify: it's Blue Beast or just Big Hands and Feet Beast?
No.
Yeah, big ham beast.
No, big blue beast.
It's Blue Beast and Ham Beast.
Yep.
All right, so it's time for the Not Real Game Awards.
Oh yeah.
Off of that great segue,
That's the fucking episode title.
Blue Beast or Ham Beast.
Whew, okay. Not Real Game Awards.
Not Real Game Awards. It's how many Todd Howards out of 5?
None.
How many Brandon?
Wait.
There is no debate
I
here.
feel like the game makes promises that don't happen, so there should be at least one Todd Howard.
What promise does it make? What are you talking about?
Yo, the shit's broken, but it's not. We fucked you.
No, shut up.
No, that's set up in delivery.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like they set it up and they pay it off.
Okay.
You know?
Which is not Todd Howard.
Yeah.
He sets it up and then does nothing. Brandon Chung.
So no Todd Howards.
Okay.
Brandon Chung. Oh, I'd give it 4 Brandon Chung.
Yeah.
Brandon Chung, please explain. America, explain.
Bespoke minutia. You know, like all the bullshit.
Damn, that was fucking
Yo,
concise.
you did that in 2 words.
like
Shit.
like pyramid box melon
Oh, and
snacks.
you can have the podcast.
How? No, Owen earned the pot. You're
Yeah.
right. We're leaving. Owen, do the rest of the Not Real Game Awards by yourself.
Yeah, right.
Sorry.
The bags of chup. I want that cube coffee mug.
Yeah.
Fucking Evie, like they're all over the station, but the first one I noticed is in Evie's office.
Yeah.
She has a coffee mug that is just a fucking cube
Yep.
with a handle on the side.
Oh, that's cool.
And
I bet you can get that.
I bet it's a pain in the ass to clean.
Yeah.
You can get normal ass coffee mugs with the Tacoma logo
Is it a cube
on
on
it.
the inside?
Yeah,
Because it doesn't have to be in real life, so it's
Well,
easier to clean.
sure.
Okay. How many Nina Freemans
Well, I don't know. She made shit. In
made this game?
So that's 5 Nina Freemans.
Yeah. All right.
Like-
I definitely felt empathy for all characters in
Yeah.
the game.
Which is what we use that for to
Yeah.
measure.
So,
Well,
amongst other things,
Yes.
it's an aesthetic. Stop
Okay.
trying to pin it down.
Alright.
Stop
Fair.
trying to put labels on your relationship with the Nina Freeman Award. Simon
Wow.
Bicklin.
0 Simon Vickman.
Zero
Simon,
Simon
definitely.
There's nothing like.
There's nothing.
There's nothing
There's
like
no Tango Down. There's no.
nothing tasteless and 14-year-old cool
Yeah.
in this game.
There's no blue beast with claws on his hands and feet. Dude, I should tell Simon about that.
Yeah, you'd love it.
He'd
You'd love
probably be
it.
into that.
Yeah. There's no Jungle Ninja shit anywhere either.
Jungle
so.
Ninja?
Yeah, it's like a derogatory term for someone who puts like 13 sights on their gun.
Oh, okay.
You know, like
Mall Ninja?
one of those two
Yeah,
things. I don't know.
okay.
All right. Jay Sawyer. It does. I mean, yeah.
Just
2?
some cool world setup.
I think 2. Yeah, because
2.
it's got like thoughtful world building.
Yeah.
But
But it doesn't like it. So it's the thoughtful world building combined with the way that all gears together with all the systems that I
Yeah.
think makes the Jay Sawyer.
Yeah.
I'm putting labels on it. God damn it, Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, you just yelled at me about
it,
that.
it gets.
I was joking, but
I think it should get 1 or 2 Jeff Bezoses.
yeah, because of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
You-
terrifying
you-
nature of Amazon
You did
University.
it. You brought up that award enough that it finally got another.
It's gotten 3.
It's gotten 3 now.
It's gotten
Yeah.
3.
3 times it has been used in my memory.
Uh,
How many Tarn Adams is? I'm gonna go with 0.
yeah.
Yeah, it's not really a strange mood kind of game.
Did this game make us anger cry? How many Jake Solomons did it get?
No.
No,
no.
anger cry. That's a good word.
Where can they find us?
Yeah, if you want to email us game codes, dick pics, or corrections, contact us at badplaystyle@gmail.com.
You're gonna say that every time,
You
aren't
know who's gonna send a dick
we
pic,
got an
right?
email, by the way.
Oh yeah, we got an email. Oh, you have to read it.
Yeah.
We're gonna get a dick pic from that same emailer.
If you want to blow us up on Twitter, we are at badplaystyle on Twitter.
Yeah.
If you want to talk to me personally, you can hit me up on Twitter at oharriman. All right. So this email really tripped me up because I didn't realize it was to the Bad Playstyle account when I got it.
Yeah.
And it's from Sean Kent. of PUBG fame.
Doxed.
Yeah. Saying, I'm very much the glue. And then he emailed me a gif of a fly stuck in glue and he's eating it. And because I didn't realize this was from him to the bad Playstyle account, I thought he was just emailing me this, like, apropos of fucking nothing.
It's
like,
in reference to Sean being the glue of our PUBG.
He knows now.
Yeah.
Right, but I was helping the viewers, listeners.
So I just replied to him, like, I do not know what to make of
I
this.
was helping Corey and Trevor understand.
And then we have a second email in our email account.
Shit.
Also from Sean, begging me to play PUBG with him while I'm still at work.
He is the glue.
He's like,
after all.
He's like the fucking neediest PUBG player I know.
And he just yells it at you. Just PUBG!
Yeah.
And you're like, hi, Sean, how are you?
Sean is like the number one reason I use the offline mode on my friends list on Steam. Is like, if I'm playing something that's not PUBG, Sean knows I'm at my computer and could be playing PUBG with him. And so he'll just like spam at me and I'll say like, no, dude. And he's like, no, but do it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, all right, fuck, whatever. Okay, I'm offline now. Like, night, Sean.
Yep. He's been on mute a couple times.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
So before we make
chill.
his feelings get too hurt, let's move on. Were there any unrealized dreams?
We love you, Sean.
Yeah.
A
lot of love.
No, I think I don't have any.
I want a HD remake of Rampart for the SNES.
I feel like that is a thing I saw at PAX last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like Rampart a lot. I know it's not originally for the SNES, but that's where I play it. Like I found it recently. It's on like a ton of different old ass systems.
Yeah, it's on like some of those like ones with keyboards and shit.
Yeah. I think you can get it for the C64.
Um,
I guess this is funny because the SNES one I played is probably the highest res version of it. Like the version I think of as the original is the HD re-release.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like a new one.
No updates on the chicken hat as far as points go. I was thinking, though, that so obviously the whole make a humiliation video thing doesn't work.
Yeah. I
don't really want to do financial compensation because there's issues with that. What I was thinking is that we come up with a title for the person who lost or persons who lost and use that for a set number of episodes.
Okay.
I'm into this.
Does that seem like a thing we could do?
Yeah, I could be into that.
Sure.
Is it just one title?
Because no, it doesn't have to be one title. It can be a majority.
Or is it like so the Game of Thrones like title of being king shit of the land is like 8 titles?
Yeah.
What if we comprise the title of the games you have failed?
That seems like a lot, but so that seems like I like the direction you're going in.
Okay.
But so basically, the idea of the chicken hat is humiliate you into finishing the games that we asked you to finish, right? Like that's the idea.
That's the
so
intention.
so if we're humiliating you in a way, obviously we all have thick enough skin that we insult each other constantly on this podcast. That's like a thing we do, right?
And outside of it.
And I'm talking about just the podcast, but I'm saying that we should do that. Like build upon that system.
Sure.
Right?
Sounds great to me.
All right. So we'll get back to you if you have any suggestions.
Yeah, title suggestions.
Because
we should make the titles bespoke to the seasons.
Sure. So Keenan needs 2, and Owen needs 1.
Yeah.
And that's so. Send your suggestions. And
I'm not allowed to make this a game to get more titles. I need to work the other way on it. Got it. I understand the intention.
They're not supposed to be good,
right?
And I was also thinking there could be an element of like changing your Steam name briefly or something.
Sure.
We can talk about it.
Ooh, that's a good step.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that PUBG's name system is separated from Steam.
Yeah. Considering that's like the one social game I play these days.
But like, things will happen. This is a random thought that I had a few days ago, and I feel like it's a good direction.
It's a good vein.
So,
to start in.
And I do hate changing my name on Steam to other things. I do like keeping it just the one thing it's been for fucking 10 years.
Yeah. So I feel like this is
way more than 10 years.
Steam friends of ours that listen set a fucking nickname.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You haven't done that already?
Send suggestions to badplaystyle@gmail.com. Hit us up on Twitter. This is us. This is super long episode.
Wait, what are we playing next week? Yeah.
Well, oh, fuck! Shh, you're right.
Fucking A! We almost left without telling them!
Oh, we're playing RimWorld.
Yeah,
We're playing RimWorld, which actually Owen has already put like 20 hours in.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So look out, Dwarf Fortress fans. This is your shit.
Yo, it's all you shit.
Okay, bye.
Our theme music is made by my good friend Benjamin Busey. You can find his SoundCloud at soundcloud.com/basicbenji206.